In the beginning of the year, Aprilia could never have anticipated such a turn of events. Their rider Jorge Martin not only sat out the Thailand race but also missed Argentina unexpectedly. This left many feeling regretful, including Marc Marquez, who personally reached out to Jorge Martin with a heartfelt text. Let's delve into this story. Stay tuned until the end. Aprilia is not expecting reigning MotoGP champion Jorge Martin to make his debut on the RSGP until at least the third round of the 2025 season. Speaking from Buriram, where the season opener is set to take place this weekend, Aprilia Racing CEO Massimo Rivola reflected on a streak of misfortune that has seen Martin sustain fractures to both hands and his left foot in recent weeks. With the defending champion sidelined, Aprilia will instead rely on new signing Marco Bezzecchi and test rider Lorenzo Savadori for the opening races. While Rivola expressed disappointment at starting the season without Martin, he emphasized the need to focus on the riders available, highlighting Bezzecchi's strong pre-season performance and Savadori's role in further developing the RSGP. It has now been confirmed that Martin will also miss the second round of the season in Argentina from 14 to 16 March. His recovery is being closely monitored, with the priority placed on ensuring he returns only when fully fit. Following successful surgery on his left hand performed by Dr. Mir, Aprilia remains positive about his recovery but refuses to set a definitive timeline for his return. Martin made history last year by becoming the first independent rider to win the MotoGP title in the modern era with Pramac Ducati. He then became the first reigning champion since Valentino Rossi to switch manufacturers, making a one-day debut with Aprilia in Barcelona last November. However, the start of his 2025 campaign has been marred by a series of setbacks. His troubles began at Sepang testing, where he suffered two major crashes in the space of 13 laps, the second of which left him with a fractured metacarpal in his right hand and multiple fractures in his left foot. Disagreements persist between Aprilia and Michelin regarding the cause of the crash. The injuries ruled him out of the final pre-season test, but he was set to return for the season-opening Thai Grand Prix until further misfortune struck. Attempting to assess his fitness ahead of Buriram, Martin suffered another crash while training on a supermoto bike earlier this week, resulting in a complex fracture of the radius and additional damage to his left hand. Following immediate surgery, 2 screws were inserted to stabilize the radius fracture, while another was placed in the notoriously slow-healing scaphoid bone. Despite these setbacks, Martin remains determined to return as soon as possible. However, Aprilia is taking a cautious approach, urging him not to rush his comeback. The team remains focused on the long-term project rather than short-term gains, prioritizing Martin's full recovery over any immediate results. Rivola has ruled out restricting supermoto-style training for his riders, believing they are best placed to judge their own limits. Martin had reportedly taken to the bike earlier in the week to test his ability to operate the brakes with his right hand and assess whether his injured left leg could bear the necessary strain. However, his condition ultimately proved unsuitable for competition. The earliest realistic opportunity for Martin to return to racing will be at the Grand Prix of the Americas in Texas from the 28th to the 30th of March, a circuit where Aprilia claimed its sole Grand Prix victory last season. Marc Marquez has revealed that he reached out to Jorge Martin via text message to offer advice based on his own personal experience. Having once rushed his return from a serious injury, a broken arm sustained in 2020, Marquez knows all too well the consequences of disregarding the body's natural healing process. His eagerness to resume racing prematurely led to a series of complications that required 4 major surgeries over the following 2 years and forced him to miss the remainder of that season. Marquez, now a factory Ducati rider, expressed his sympathy for Martin's situation, acknowledging that injuries of this nature are an unfortunate reality of professional motorcycle racing. He recognized that as a reigning world champion, Martin would likely be fueled by an extra level of motivation and confidence, attributes that can sometimes obscure the fine line between pushing limits and overstepping them. Reflecting on his own experiences, Marquez urged Martin to prioritize his health, warning of the dangers of attempting to return to the grid before making a full recovery. He emphasized that missing several races, even up to 6, would be a minor setback in the grand scheme of a promising career. With his youth and talent, Martin has many years ahead of him, and Marquez expressed hope for his eventual return, stating that the defending champion belongs on the race weekend stage. Francesco Bagnaia, Marquez's teammate at Ducati, shared similar concerns and reached out to Martin as well. While he had not spoken to him directly, he sent a message offering words of support, recognizing the difficulty of finding the right words in such a challenging moment. He reinforced the importance of patience during recovery, echoing Marquez's sentiments that rushing back too soon could have even more severe consequences for Martin's career. Both riders highlighted the need for caution, acknowledging the long-term risks associated with inadequate healing and the potential for further injury. They stressed that taking time to fully recover was the best course of action, even if it meant stepping away from competition for an extended period. In the meantime, Martin's absence from the upcoming rounds in Thailand and Argentina will see Aprilia test rider Lorenzo Savadori stepping in as his replacement. While the paddock will certainly feel Martin's absence, his competitors and colleagues will be hoping for a measured recovery that allows him to return at full strength when the time is right. Martin's injury at the start of the 2025 season is a stark reminder of the fine line between ambition and caution in MotoGP. As the reigning champion, the pressure to return to racing as quickly as possible is immense, not just from himself, but also from fans and his team. However, Marc Marquez's past experiences have shown that pushing too hard before fully recovering can have disastrous long-term consequences. Aprilia's decision to prioritize Martin's full recovery over an immediate return is a wise one. In a sport that demands peak physical condition and lightning-fast reactions, patience can often be the key to sustained success. At the same time, this situation highlights the immense risks riders face, even outside of official competition. Martin's additional injury during supermoto training underscores the dangers involved in maintaining race fitness. However, restricting training methods is not the answer, as riders need realistic simulations to stay sharp. This serves as a reminder that MotoGP is not just about speed on race day, but also about smart risk management and maintaining physical readiness throughout the season. Ultimately, the decision of when to return is not just about bravery. It's about understanding one's body and the wider competitive landscape. What do you think? Should Martin take his time to recover fully, or is the pressure to return as soon as possible simply part of being a champion? MotoGP is as much a mental battle as it is a physical one, and every decision can shape a rider's future. Share your thoughts in the comments below and stay tuned for more updates as this story unfolds. Hey MotoGP fans, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with all the latest action.